Hello guys, this is Great Game Guardian here, and I'm back from Seattle. And I realized something in Seattle, that September was coming up soon, and it's gonna suck for everyone because we're going back to school and stuff. So I said, hey, why not make this month about one of my favorite games of all time, Plants vs. Zombies. Now, I haven't really talked about Plants vs. Zombies, but that's because new games haven't been introduced. And I've had a lot of time to look over this and go, wow, this is really awesome and I love it. Sorry about that. But this week this month I'm gonna dedicate entirely to Plants vs. Zombies. And hopefully every week you'll get a new video about Plants vs. Zombies. I'm not exactly sure yet. I gotta check with my school. I gotta check with my schedule and stuff. But here we go. Our first video is of the top 10 plants in Plants vs. Zombies. These are the plants that I find most useful and most interesting to use. So, enough sitting around. Let's get to this gem of a game, which I've dedicated an entire month to. So, yeah, let's do it! Now, for my number 10 spot, I've decided to go with the Potato Mine. Now, I really like the Potato Mine because it's really cheap, and you can get it out at the beginning of the game and get a lot more sun and get more sun to build up your army. So I believe that the Potato Mine is essential for the beginning levels, like level 1 and 2, because they are cost effective and they give you more time to build up your plants and create an actual defense. This is kind of like as I guess Nintendo Capri Sun would call it, a temporary solution to a permanent problem. But I totally agree. This plant does exactly what I want it to do at the beginning of the game. Just plant it out on the first couple rows, and you're all set. So I don't know if a lot of people agree with me on the Potato Mine, but there are a lot better plants than this. And I'm really sorry to put it at number 10, because I really like this plant, but there are 9 more better than this. So at number 10, we have the Potato Mine. Sorry, the image for the 9 spot is bad, but the Gatling Pea is number 9 now. The Gatling Pea, if everyone has played the first game, is an upgrade to the Repeater, which I honestly like. I like that too. That would probably be on my top 15. But the Gatling Pea, it costs 250 sun. You place it on a repeater, and instead of shooting out 2 peas, it shoots out 4 at a time. And I really like that because I put it in the back, and it just does monumental damage, especially to the conehead zombies and the regular zombies. They just obliterate them. And if you get 2 or 2 or 3 Gatlings in a row, you are basically set. And I kind of hate to put this at this low too, because I really like this plant as well. I like all these plants. I like every plant except for one, and I'll go over that in a different video. But yeah, my number 9 spot goes to the Soldier, the Gatling Pea. My number 8 spot makes the Gatling Pea good, and that's the Torchwood. Now, the Torchwood is basically a utility item. Now, for me, there are 3 different types of items. There's the artillery, there's the support, and then there's the utility. This is one of the utility items. It powers up the other plants. And by the other plants, I mean the pea shooters, repeaters, and Gatling Peas. And this turns 4 chunks of damage into 8 if you have 1 Gatling in a row, and it is awesome. If I'm ever bringing in repeaters or Gatling Peas, I'll always try and bring a Torchwood with me because I really want that double damage. And I really can't think of a zombie that if you put 2 Gatling Peas behind a Torchwood, it won't take down. Maybe a what are they called? The football zombies. But they are awesome, and they're strong, and I love them. But, yeah, number 7, or 8, no, this is 8. 8 goes to the Torchwood. My number 7 spot is the ice room. Now, let me set the scene for you. You're in a night level, or a day level. I mean, I've used them in both levels. And you need to just stop all the zombies. There's some freaking annoying football zombies, some not cones, bucket heads, newspaper, dolphins. There's just too many zombies on the screen. And you want them all to just stop so you can reassess what you're doing and get on and redo your defense. That ice room's your guide. In a night level, you just need the ice room, but in a day level, you need the coffee bean in the ice room. And even if I only have 2 spots left, I'll take an ice room and a coffee bean over like a cherry bomb. To be honest, the cherry bomb is not on this list. But this is the only mushroom that's on this list. And it's definitely worthy. So the number 7 spot goes to the ice room. My number 6 spot is the Kernel Pult. Now, the reason I like the Kernel Pult is because it does damage, which is great, but it also can stun the zombies. Now, if you've never played this game before, the Kernel Pult, what it does, it'll shoot out kernels of corn, which will only do 1 damage. But if they do shoot out butter, they will freeze the zombie, any type of zombie, right where they stand. Now, I hate to put this guy this low on the list because I really, really, really like this. One of the greatest artillery plants that I think there is in the game. Number 6 spot goes to the amazing Kernel Pult. My number 5 spot is the one and only Chomper. Now, the Chomper is one of my favorite looking plants in the game, and it is also one of my favorite to use. If you have a walnut or tall nut or pumpkin, and you put it either on or around or in front of this guy, you will never lose, alright? This guy will eat through the pumpkin and through the tall nut and through the walnut to eat the zombies on the other side of them. Now, I think that is awesomely helpful, and I just love this zombie so much. This plant a lot, and I hate to put it at number 5. I hate that, but number 5 goes to Chomper. My number 4 plant even looks like a monster. It is the jalapeno. Now, the jalapeno, it doesn't look that cool to begin with, but when you put it out on a row, whoosh, all the zombies except for 1 are automatically dead. And I think that is monumentally more useful than the cherry bomb, because you can plant this anywhere on the row, in any row you want, and the entire row will just get destroyed. And I really, really, really like the jalapeno. If I had to take the most emergency item, I guess you could say, this is no, but the jalapeno is very high in my standards for a Plants vs. Zombie plant, and that's why my number 3 spot goes to the amazing jalapeno. My actual number 3 plant, sorry for that before, is the tall nut. Now, everyone knows the walnuts and tall nuts. I'm gonna go with the more powerful one, even though it's worth 75 more sun. You can see why. It is 2 times as powerful as a walnut. And as I said, you can place chompers right behind it, and you can just eat the zombies that come up to you, except for maybe a few. But the tall nut is so freaking useful, and it would be a sin if I didn't put a walnut or a tall nut or a pumpkin on this list. But here it is, my more favorite of the 3, the tall nut. I know a lot of people like the pumpkin, but I like the tall nut. So basically that's it. My actual number 3 spot. Sorry for saying number 3 is my jalapeno, but number 3 actually is the wicked tall nut. My number 2 spot will surprise a lot of you. It is the melon pult. Now, I know a lot of people really like the melon pult. And don't get me wrong, I like them too. Because you can upgrade them to the winter pult. I mean, the winter melon. And it's basically a snow pea on steroids. It is immensely good. Even the melon pult by itself is good because it causes splash damage in the zombies. But, of course, I do see the downsides with this. If you want to get out a melon pult, it costs 300 sun. And if you want to get out a winter melon, altogether it costs 500 sun. 525 on the roof. And 525 if you want it on the water. So that's why my number 2 goes to the melon. Before we go on to number 1, let's look at the other 9. Number 10, the potato mine. Number 9, the Gatling pea. Number 8, the torchwood. Number 7, the ice room. Number 6, the kernel pulp. Number 5, the chomper. Number 4, the jalapeno. Number 3, the tall nut. And number 2, the melon pulp. Before we look at number 1, I want to look at some honorable mentions. The marigold has helped me 100% the game by giving me money. The Magnetrum has gotten rid of some bucketheads and football players along the way. And the spikeweed have caused more damage to the zombies as they walk along the ground. My number 1 is so good that even PopCap knows it. It's the only plant that is a toy. The squash. What can I really say about the squash? The squash is perfect. The squash is only 50 sun. The squash can kill almost anything in the game except for the Gargantutars. And the squash is even badass. It's like, oh, I don't want to kill these freaking zombies, but I'm gonna do it anyway in one shot. And then it freaking kills them. If you put it in front of the zombies or behind them, the squash will murder it. No matter what it is, what time of day it is, the squash will get it done. And that's why it is my number 1 favorite plant in Plants vs. Zombies. Thanks for watching, everyone.